My boyfriend's on the phone right now, y'all, and like I feel like he keeps like copying my hand movements and like my mouth movements and stuff like that. He's just being so freaking annoying because he know how happy I am about this camera. What's up, Mís Pedazos de It's your girl, Nitty Sierra, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As y'all heard, we got a little bit of a name change. My mom basically corrected me because she didn't want me to sound too gringa. So it means the same exact thing that I explained in my welcome back again video. If y'all watched that, I'll link it down below if you haven't. If you're watching me now, if you're subscribed, if you want to subscribe, then you are now a part of Mís Pedazos de Peace. My mom wants me to say the past because that's peace in Spanish, but I want a little Spanglish to it since I'm not completely fluent. I want it to have some type of like authentic, I want to be like authentic to me. And today's video is recorded on my very first, for the first time ever, my vlogging camera. I'll go ahead and put like pictures right here of it. I'm still learning to look like at y'all and not like at myself, but like this whole thing is so cool, y'all, because if y'all watched the welcome back again video, I talked about how I wanted to be a YouTuber since middle school. Since 7th grade, I was watching Lord DIY, Alicia Marie, like literally all of Asian Girls Club. If you know, you know. Like those girls inspired me to never give up, honestly, and to just keep pushing until I was able and stable enough to become what I've always wanted on my own. And now I'm finally taking the first steps to make it official. So, congratulations to me. Thank you. My boyfriend's on the phone right now, y'all, and like I feel like he keeps like copying my hand movements and like my mouth movements and stuff like that. He's just being so freaking annoying because he know how happy I am about this camera. I got the camera from TikTok shop, y'all. All right, $44, but I believe that it's now like 70 something because I got it when it was like on a flash sale or something like that. But enough about fangirling on my camera. Let's go ahead and jump straight into this video. So y'all, when I tell y'all a story, or if I'm just making a video that will require me to make talking points, I'm going to read those talking points in my notes. All right, so in this story time, y'all, we're going to be talking about the time where a TikToker got mad because I called her out for saying the N-word. This is my first ever like TikToker drama, y'all. Like, at least to me, because thinking back on it right now, it really wasn't much drama. It was just debates that I would have with any ignorant person that was wrong about any type of social issue. So looking back on it now, it's really not drama, but like it was my first time going at it with somebody that had followers who followers came after me, y'all. Like, what? Time and place. So the time that this situation happened, it was COVID time 2020. And if y'all know 2020 was like the peak of TikTok. That's when a lot of the big influencers that we know now were probably just getting their like first few thousand on TikTok. So yeah, y'all, like TikTok was popping back in 2020. I'm talking about trend after trend, dance after dance, song after song, you name it. All right, POV after POV, like I said, you name it. 2020, unfortunately, is also around the time George Floyd got killed in an instance of police brutality. And that whole situation really shook up, I feel like, the black community as a whole to the point where we were just not playing anymore. Like, we were finally being a lot more vocal, we were doing a lot more research, and I feel like people gathering all this research and putting it out onto TikTok to further educate other people really inspired a lot of us to take that information and dig a little deeper and come back onto these platforms with our own information. I can say that ever since then, we've been very defensive about a lot of shit, as we should. And yeah, that's around the time where I started my activism journey. I was always very much into Black history. Growing up, I was always like a fan of history, specifically like Black history. But I feel like ever since COVID, it just was something where I felt like my voice means something. So instead of learning about it, I could teach other people who don't have the same knowledge as me on certain topics and stuff like that. If you guys don't know me from TikTok at all, I mainly spoke on social issues regarding the Black community, the LGBT community, women's rights, and I'm also, half Latino, so I would also speak up against certain stuff that would be going on in the Latina community as well. But because every community is so rooted in anti-Blackness, I do speak more on the oppression within the Black community a little bit more. I'm Latina and I'm Black. I feel like the first thing I'm looked at is my race instead of my ethnicity, if that makes sense. So because of the weight that comes with that, I mainly talk about, the issues within the Black community. Now that we got that little bit of background out of the way, let's get into characters. So the character names that we're going to use in this story time, for the main character, her name is going to be Staten, and the reason why her name is Staten we'll get into in a little bit. The boyfriend, which is Staten's boyfriend, and the fans, which is Staten's fans. I gave really like mediocre like little pet names to like the last two characters because they're really like smaller characters, but Staten is the main character. The reason why we're calling her Staten in the story time is because I guess she is from Staten Island, and Staten Island is so close to New Jersey that a lot of New Yorkers don't really claim Staten Island as a borough like that. So just for the messiness of it all, we're gonna call her Staten. Like that up north beef don't got nothing to do with me. I just think like, girl, you rep New York so bad to say this one slur, but most of New York don't even claim it. Like, but hey, that's so the first event in the story time. Basically, I was scrolling on TikTok just like everybody else, and I either stumbled across somebody else's stitch of her original video, or I just stumbled upon her original video and it came on my For You page and I stitched it. And I'll go ahead and insert the video and the stitch here.
I try to say I'm canceled for saying that anyway. I grew up in New York, baby. You come to New York, that's all you're gonna hear. You think I'm gonna change the way I speak for a bunch of people on social media, online? No, fuck out of here. I said, what the
Now you know you fucked up because you deleted the video, and people like me were quick with the screenshots, quick with the screen recording, quick with the hands, etc. Now let me tell you something, bitch. No one gives a fuck where you're from. The word nigga isn't a New York thing, baby. It's a Black people thing, and you're not Black. You being Puerto Rican doesn't mean shit. Being Puerto Rican, Hispanic, Dominican is an ethnicity. It's not your race. And, that video got me heated. So I was scrolling to look for some parents, and I saw your dad. And sure enough, he was not Black, ma'am. There are 3 different types of Latinas. You got white Latinas, Black Latinas, and indigenous Latinas. And you're not Black. So you're one of the other 2. Won't be saying what the fuck you want around me, sure enough.
So as y'all can see by the video, y'all, she kept justifying saying the N-word by acting as if it is a regional word because, she's from New York, and I guess everybody that's from New York says it over there. Just because everybody does something does not mean that it's right. Like, do we have to really take it back to kindergarten? Because I swear that's one of the first things that we learn of home training, that like, you just because everybody else is doing something does not mean that you gotta do it, especially if it's wrong. Like, I know I used to hate when older people would use the, oh, well, if your friend jump off the bridge, are you gonna do it too excuse? But like, in this aspect, like in this like specific scenario, like for real, you being from New York and everybody that's in New York saying it has nothing to do with the historical context and the historical definition of what that word means. It's not regional, it's racial. Also, for those of y'all who watch me from my old TikToks and y'all are coming onto my YouTube and you see that I have like a variety of more types of content that I'm putting out, please don't think that I'm stopping my activism or anything like that. I am pro-Black, y'all. Pro-Black is a lifestyle. So if I am a lifestyle YouTuber, my pro-Blackness is definitely going to be incorporated in that because being pro-Black is a lifestyle. So y'all, I am bound to talk about something dealing with, you know, issues within various oppressed communities. And, you know, if y'all, that's not y'all's cup of tea, then my channel just isn't for y'all. So y'all saw how my response was in the video. Back then in 2020, I was so ruthless when it came down to like educating people that was just straight up ignorant, because I just felt like common sense is common. Like, you should know that you shouldn't try to argue about racial slurs. Like, why the fuck would you argue about a racial slur that doesn't belong to your racial group? And it just made me so angry. So that's where all the bitches and the fucks and the, you know, just the very vulgar, like, I'm still vulgar, don't get me wrong, but I was vulgar with a lot of hate, and it wasn't necessarily good for my spirit. And honestly, I shouldn't have to stress myself out like that for a bunch of racists anyway. Like, that's exactly what they want. Back to statin. So like I said, y'all see my response, and honestly my memory is blanked out from the sequence of events that happened. I'm not sure if she's seen my video and she made a stitch to my video, or she just left comments under my video. I do recall that I was making hella comments under her video, and I believe she was stitching and making videos to my comments that I was leaving under her video. So whichever came first, that's how the fans, the little fans, got involved. So she seen my videos, she seen my comments, she started making videos and comments back, and that obviously provoked her fans to start coming in my comment section with the ignorant shit. And y'all, her fans were saying the most typical ignorant shit that y'all could hear somebody defending a Latina, a non-black Latina, saying the N-word for. They kept saying, oh, she's Puerto Rican, Puerto Ricans have black in them. And that's why in today's video, just like I had to educate her in my video, we're going to be talking about the difference between race, ethnicity, ancestry, and nationality. Because that's something that a lot of people, specifically people within the Latinx community, get confused about. I understand that race is a social construct, and in a lot of other places, people don't go by race, they go by ethnicity. But because of the fact that ethnicities hold diverse racial groups, and each racial group is treated differently because of race, is why it's good to acknowledge the fact that not everybody in the Latinx community is black, not everybody is just white. I don't want to bore y'all with education today, so I'm just going to leave the screenshots of each definition. So yeah, y'all, they were basically saying the same typical stuff like, oh, she's Puerto Rican, Puerto Ricans have black in them. And y'all are, those of y'all who say stuff like that are only half right. And let me go ahead and just explain a little bit as to how. All right, Puerto Ricans do have black in them, but not all Puerto Ricans have black in them. And then even the Puerto Ricans who do have black in them, not all of them are black, because there's the difference between having black in you and then being a black person. So you can have black in you because of your ancestry, but your ancestry does not mean that your race, after all the ancestors that have went down the timeline to get to you, that doesn't mean that it's that race has stayed the same. Especially because in the Latinx community, it's so racially mixed. There's something called bloodline thinning, and the bloodline thinning of the black DNA that's in a lot of Puerto Ricans thins out. So once you get to you as a non-black Puerto Rican or non-black Latina, that doesn't mean that your race is black. You have black in you, you have black ancestors, you have black ancestry, but whatever you physically appear as is what your race is. And that is what the definition of race is: the physical appearance of somebody. So even if you have a black ancestor, if down the line there's other mixes of races, and you know the timeline, bloodline finally gets down to you, and you don't physically appear to be the race that your ancestors were, then you're not that race. And honestly, this whole situation was just a perfect example of everybody wants to be black until it's time to be black. With all that being said, everything that I just said, I said in all my video replies, comment replies, and it just got to the point where we was going back and forth about it so much we just decided to go live about it. So y'all, when we went live, it was immediate like messiness. Like, you know how when you're dealing with that one messy girl, or that one girl that thinks like she got this argument or got this fight in the bag, and she's laughing and kikiing like she's so right about it. Now, I don't know who said what first. I don't know how the conversation started, but I do recall that at some point she was asking why it's not okay for her to say the N word, and then she started bringing up other racial slurs that belong to Latin and Hispanic ethnic groups, saying, "Oh, well, is it okay for people to say this? Well, I hear black people say this word all the time." And I'm like, girl, just because you hear one person be ignorant does not mean that you be ignorant back, especially because of the fact that there's so much more anti-blackness rooted in the Latin and Hispanic community than there is Latin or anti-Hispanic within the black community. Is very telling and is the big reason of why you really can't compare apples to oranges. Now, I didn't say all that, but I'm saying all of that now to y'all. But to her, I was just basically telling her straight up, like, it's not okay for nobody to say any racial slurs that doesn't belong to their ethnic group. And it doesn't make sense to fight for racial slurs that does not belong to your ethnic group or your racial group. It just doesn't make sense. Like, that makes you racist. To fight to say racial slurs towards and belongs to another racial or ethnic group is racist. And I was explaining her to that. So she ended up repeating one racial slur that was towards like Latinas, and I repeated it. Keep in mind, y'all, I'm half Latina, I'm half black. So I got the best of both worlds. I can say whatever the fuck I want. As long as it's within my ethnicity, obviously. So yeah, when she heard me say the word, she was like, "Oh, so you can say this, but I can't say the N word?" I'm like, girl, she really had the audacity to compare herself to me as if we're the same type of Latina. Baby, we're not the same type of Latina. That's not comparing Latinas, because we're all beautiful. We're all one in a way. But babe, I'm a black Latina and you're not. That's the difference. That's why I can say nigga, and I can say, I don't even remember what word she said. I think it was mulatto or something like that. And she was like, "Oh, well, you could say mulatto, but I can't say da da da," and that. I don't know. I forgot what word she said. It's just the fact that I really had to explain to her that me and her wasn't the same type of Latina for her to get, and she still didn't get it. But it's the fact that she even thought that we was the same type of Latina for her to try and call me out for being a hypocrite in the first place. Like, babe, you thought you had a one up. No, you don't. So honestly, everything that happened after that is very fuzzy. I just know that me and her ended up getting more heated. Words were exchanged. I threatened to pull up because, like, my dad live in New York, y'all. It do not take long to ask for a bus ticket, to come up there, and to ask her to link. Like, she knows how to use the subway system. She know how to get to Brooklyn. Like, you feel what I'm saying? So it ended up getting that heated, y'all. We was going back and forth. I told her, like, if you ever say that shit around me, if I'm ever up in New York and you say that shit around me, I'm smacking the shit out of you. YouTube, please don't demonetize me. Please don't take this video down, because y'all, like, I'm a hothead, y'all. Like, I'm a hothead. Once you get me there, I'm a hothead. Like, I'm the type of person where if we can talk as women, as an adult, let's do that. Perfect. And I don't mind putting my pride down to the side to actually have a conversation with somebody, no matter how mad I am. But if I see that that communicating with that person just not gonna work, it's about to be a riot. Y'all, I do not promote any violence. I'm lying, y'all. Well, let me not say that, all right? Because I'm very much a Malcolm X versus MLK type of person. So I just feel like when violence is necessary, when it's necessary, it's necessary. You get what I'm saying? But I feel like if we can withhold it and actually talk, I'm cool with that too. But this girl, but Staten, y'all, Staten, she just, ooh, like, I really feel like the thing that really pissed me off with the whole, like, Staten debate situation is this girl proceeded, I don't know if this happened after we got off live or while we were on live, but this girl proceeded to use her black boyfriend as an excuse as to why she says the N word and why she feels comfortable. Like, y'all, that was the most like fetishization thing that I've ever seen. Like, oh, like I got a black boyfriend, so it's okay. He's okay that I say it. He doesn't care when I say it or when I wear braids in my hair or when I like it was just very icky. Like it definitely gave me the ick. And I feel like that was the straw that broke a lot of Kim's backs because when she said that shit and tried to use the black boyfriend excuse, people were on her ass even more, especially me. Oh, y'all thought going live one time was gonna stop me? No, man. I believe this situation with me and her lasted at least like a couple of weeks. And it only lasted that long, y'all, because again, when me and her went live, she had a way bigger following than me. So all of her fans were literally, like I said, clowning me, talking about shit that really had nothing to do with the topic at hand because that's what ignorant people do. And then again, a lot of her fans were literally in middle school or early high school, y'all. There's really not much I should have expected, but it's just like these kids was going to get educated today because no kid should be left with poor education. And I was going to be the one to educate them. Amen? Amen. But yeah, I do recall like when me and her was debating and going live and shit like that. I'm sorry that I keep jumping back and forth from what I'm about to say, but um the comments were actually distracting. I'm the type of person where I get distracted easily, especially on live. Like if I'm making a video on TikTok and somebody texts me, I gotta restart the whole video. So like when me and her were debating on live and I was telling her basically all the things that I was saying in the stitched video that I made and all the other videos that I made for her prior to me and her going live, like I was just repeating the same thing, but I was stuttering so bad, y'all. Like I was still able to get majority of what I said out, but like I said, she had really just had that mean girl vibe where like every time I stutter it was like girl, like that shit really gave me the ick because it's like as a non-black person, a black person is trying to educate you and this is how you're behaving, like you really need to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Yeah, back to her using the whole black boyfriend excuse. I feel like that was the straw that broke the camel's backs for a lot of people because people started going in on her a lot more, and she made this bullshit ass apology video. I don't have the apology video, so I can't even like put it up for y'all like how I did. And that video, I'm surprised that I even could find because I had to re-download Google Photos to get that video for y'all. So you're welcome. Basically in her apology video, she was like she apologized that she hurt the people who's black and still support her like feelings if she, you know, was being insensitive or whatever the case is. And she basically just was like that she was going to continue saying it, just not online. Like she basically was like, I apologize and I'll make sure that I don't say it on camera or on social media because this is how y'all would act. Like it was very much a BS apology video. Like if y'all would have heard it, like woo. So yeah, y'all, like I said, a week after the whole live situation, I'm pretty sure the whole like her using her black boyfriend as an excuse thing, I feel like that happened after that we went live because after that it was this whole like week span of people in my comment section and me debating with people in my comment section, and then there were still people that were debating with me in her comment section to the comments that I left under her video. So it's like I was between like me and hers pages, me and hers comment sections debating with people for like that whole week. And then honestly, I think I just stopped because I knew that I was right and there's just no changing the ignorant person's mind. Like once a person is like in their state of mind, they're in their state of mind. And then y'all would not believe what happened next. This girl had the audacity to say that I was copying her because I guess in a TikTok video that I made, I had an old little name that I called y'all, and I called y'all the itty bitty gang because you know I'm itty and I'm bitty and shit like that. And I made a TikTok addressing my supporters as that, and she basically said that I was copying her because that was the same exact thing that she named and called her supporters. That's cat. And you want to know how that's cat? And I still have the video up on this YouTube channel to this day. I think it's the very first YouTube video, if I'm not mistaken. So with the YouTube video that I'm talking about, right? At the time, I made that YouTube video like 5 months before I even knew this girl, right? So about 5 months before I even knew this girl, I had a YouTube channel, and I was calling on the people on my YouTube channel like Itty Bitty Nation or something like that. So it was giving very much, you want me to be you so bad, because baby, I thought I was original and I wasn't, but that's okay, because at the end of the day, I'm not copying you. I won't copying her, because my shit, I had that shit for myself like 5 months before I was even engagement with this girl. So yeah. So not only is she wrong about saying the N word and being a racist, but she wrong about somebody wanting to be her. So yeah, after that, I definitely did check her with screenshots, with, the proof, the timeline proof that, girl, nobody wants to be you. And after that, she was kind of all quiet, no back talk, because baby, what really can you say? Like, you really thought somebody was trying to be you? But little kids take everything, take the whole grain of salt. They don't take just a little grain of salt. They take a whole handful of salt, because they was eating it up. And little kids, her little fans that we call them, that's what we're calling them. Yeah, they thought that I wanted to be her so bad. It didn't take no explaining, no proof to convince those fucking kids, because at the end of the day, they kids. And looking back on it now, when I realized the age that her fan base was, I really should have just like kept it between me and her, because kids gonna be ignorant, and kids gonna want to defend they fave, I guess. So yeah. And honestly, after that, things died down a little bit. I didn't hear from her. She didn't hear from me. I would still get occasional comments from her little supporters, but like I said, like, I eventually learned to just let that go, because I'm not about to be arguing with little kids on the internet. Like, no. So yeah, you guys, that's the end of today's story time. I'm sorry that if it wasn't as juicy or too educational than y'all expected, but like I said, I'm pro-black, and I am a lifestyle YouTuber now. Pro-blackness is a lifestyle that y'all gonna have to get into if y'all are gonna tune into me. So yeah, alright, Mís Pedazos, that's the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this video to your friends or anybody that you think may like my type of content, and stay tuned for the next video, because I'm going somewhere fun tomorrow, y'all. Pray for my safety, and I will catch you guys in the